WWE has been the stage for numerous jaw-dropping moments since the 1980s. It's filled with shocking returns, monumental title changes, and emotional departures. But some moments can be so unexpected that they can leave fans speechless. It includes unexpected match results, surprising returns, and, at times, poor booking decisions. From Stone Cold Steve Austin shaking hands with Mr. McMahon to Jinder Mahal becoming the 50th WWE Champion. As a huge wrestling fan myself, I decided to put together some of the OMG moments. And as we go through these moments, let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and if you can think of any other moments. Number 15. Brock Lesnar and The Big Show break the ring. In 2003, Brock Lesnar and The Big Show were embroiled in a heated rivalry that spanned for a couple of months. They even had a crazy match where Lesnar used a forklift to defeat The Big Show in a stretcher match. The animosity between them would lead to a showdown on an episode of SmackDown in November 2003. At the closing moments of the match, the pair were on the top rope and performed a giant superflex, the force of which caused the ring to break. The crowd's extraordinary reaction speaks volumes about how shocking and exciting the moment was. I remember yelling at the TV when it happened. Although WWE would go on to recreate this moment several times in the years to come, but as a first-time occurrence, the first ever ring collapse was truly iconic. Number 14. Sting defies the NWO. At the peak of WCW, the NWO was an invincible faction, and it seemed like no one could stand a chance against them. Wherever they went, they always came out on top. Sting, however, was seen as the one true hero of WCW. Sting proved himself by attacking the imposter before walking out at War Games. He then underwent a complete transformation by abandoning the surfer look for the Crow-inspired loner, who would hang around the rafters. It was a shocking turn that led to one of WCW's most successful storylines, that would reach its pinnacle when Sting defeated Hulk Hogan to win the WCW Championship at Starrcade 1997. Number 13. RVD defeats John Cena in ECW territory. Before John Cena had the daunting task of defending the WWE Championship against CM Punk in Chicago in 2011, he encountered a similar challenge in 2006. RVD cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase against him in the ECW One Night Stand 2006 PPV, hosted in the historic Hammerstein Ballroom. The build-up to this match was particularly intense, as John Cena found himself standing alone against the odds. In front of a hot-headed ECW crowd, RVD ended up winning the WWE Championship as a result of a major assist from Edge, who was also feuding with Cena at the time. The pin was counted by Paul Heyman, and given it was ECW rules, the result stood much to the pure joy and delight of everyone in attendance. Number 12. DX invades WCW. In the midst of the intense Monday Night War between WCW and WWE, D-Generation X orchestrated a memorable invasion of WCW's Monday Nitro. Triple H and his DX teammates donned military attire, hopped in a Jeep, and demanded that Eric Bischoff released Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. However, WCW management quickly closed the doors and backed away. The unrealistic yet astonishing moment was able to happen as Nitro was being held just 15 minutes away from the venue for Raw. DX used megaphones to engage with the Nitro attendees, encouraging them to chant in favor of DX and WWE. To this day, Eric Bischoff has openly admitted that one of the biggest regrets of his career is not opening the door to let DX in. Number 11. The Nexus Create Havoc. In June 2010, the Nexus burst onto the WWE scene in a jaw-dropping debut on Raw. Led by Wade Barrett, the 7 NXT rookies unleashed a brutal attack on John Cena and CM Punk. The crowd fell silent as the assault continued, and Nexus destroyed the announcement tables, the ringside crew, and the ring before Barrett hit Wasteland on Cena, followed by a 450 splash by Gabriel. This moment was one of the greatest debuts of all time. Unfortunately for the Nexus, the angle was completely ruined by the creative team at SummerSlam 2010. Number 10. The Hardy Boys, WrestleMania 33. The Hardy Boys hadn't graced WWE for over 7 years when their unexpected return happened in 2017. Surprisingly, they had wrestled the night before at an independent show, but in a surprising turn of events, the hosts of WrestleMania 33, The New Day, surprised everyone by announcing that the originally planned triple threat ladder match for the Raw Tag titles had become a fatal 4-way. To the astonishment of the audience, Matt and Jeff Hardy's iconic entrance theme hit, resulting in one of the most explosive crowd reactions in recent times. As anticipated, the Hardy Boys went on to capture the Raw Tag Team Championships in front of a blazing crowd. Number 9. Edge spears Mick Foley through fire. Wrestling fans can't forget how Edge once speared Mick Foley through a flaming table. The two stars clashed in a hardcore match at WWE WrestleMania 22. This feud started when Foley served as a special guest referee for Edge's WWE Championship match with John Cena. Edge felt like he was cheated out of a victory, so he took his frustrations out on Foley. This conflict set the stage for an iconic match at WWE WrestleMania 22. The match was filled with thumbtacks, baseball bats, barbed wire, and even fire. The bout culminated with Edge spearing Foley through the burning table. Number 8. DIY Implodes. DIY was one of the most successful and entertaining tag teams in NXT history. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa joined forces in the black and gold brand and went on to feud against other equally talented tag teams and captured the NXT Team Championship. But in a shocking turn of events, at TakeOver in Chicago 2017, Tommaso Ciampa betrayed his former friend Gargano after losing a tag team ladder match to the Authors of Pain. A ruthless beatdown followed as the white-hot Chicago crowd booed Ciampa out of the building. The heel turn resulted in a long-anticipated clash between the two bitter enemies at TakeOver in New Orleans 2018. Gargano managed to put Ciampa down after a 5-star classic. Number 7. The Undertaker Kicks Out of the Sweet Chin music and pedigree. One moment that stands out among the rest to me when it comes to an OMG moment is the kick out. The Undertaker and Triple H had an all-time great match at WrestleMania 28 inside their Hell in a Cell structure, with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee. During the middle of the match, Michaels got angered into hitting The Undertaker with the Sweet Chin music, leading to Triple H following it up with a pedigree and all-in-one flawless motion. Undertaker kicking out from Michaels' count? Well, that provided a massive ovation from the fans. Michaels sold it perfectly, crawling into the corner with his head in his hands, eyes widened in disbelief. Number 6. Brock Lesnar squashes John Cena. Brock Lesnar has a part of many high-profile squash matches, but none of these squash matches can be as shocking as the one that took place on that infamous night at SummerSlam 2014 against John Cena. A lot of fans believe that Cena might be the one that gives Lesnar a run for his money. From the start, Lesnar launched a brutal assault on Cena by delivering 16 agonizing German suplexes. Despite lasting over 16 minutes, it was clearly a one-sided match, with John struggling to fight back. In the end, Lesnar hit an F5 to secure the victory, leaving the arena in stunned silence. It was a hugely and shockingly bold move to close out a PPV like this, but because this sort of thing is done so rarely, John Cena was famous for his Super Cena persona, and he was seemingly invincible to his opponents. So, to see him getting annihilated in this manner was something that no one saw coming. Number 5. Steve Austin's beer truck. The feud between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mr. McMahon, defined as perhaps the most important and greatest feud of all time, is still fondly remembered by many. In one of the greatest moments in history in Raw, Mr. McMahon and The Rock were doing a promo in the ring when Stone Cold Steve Austin cut them off. The Texas Rattlesnake entered the arena with a giant truck that almost took down the giant screen on top of the entrance, and then went on to berate The Rock. Steve Austin took out a hose from the truck and showered the trio with beer. To this day, it remains one of the most iconic OMG moments of the Attitude Era. Number 4. Goldberg stuns Brock Lesnar. WWE showcased the best scenario for a PPV ending in shocking fashion when Brock Lesnar faced Goldberg at Survivor Series 2016. Given the reputation and dominance of Brock Lesnar, very few people expected Goldberg to take the lead. However, WWE did go for the shocking route when Goldberg speared Lesnar to start the match and defeated him in just under 90 seconds. For such a high-profile and heavily anticipated bout, it was surreal to witness it end in just a blink of an eye. The crowd erupted in shock since no one saw it coming, and it played into Goldberg's old character of squashing his opponents, so I wasn't surprised when it happened. Number 3. Shane McMahon, the owner of WCW. The final night of the Monday Night Wars occurred on March 26, 2001, when Vince McMahon purchased his biggest rival, WCW. But to the shock of Mr. McMahon, Shane McMahon appeared on Nitro and purchased WCW behind his dad's back. Shane proclaimed that Vince's ego had gotten the best of him, and that while the contract did indeed sport the name McMahon, it was, in fact, Shane McMahon's name on the contract rather than Vince's. This shocking double twist proceeded to kick off one of the most promising yet underwhelming angles in wrestling history. Number 2. Hulk Hogan joins NWO. Hulk Hogan's heroic image was deeply rooted in pop culture, making it hard to envision him as a villain. However, by the 90s, Hulk Hogan's persona had become stale, and he needed to adapt. In May 1996, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash joined WCW and began teasing the arrival of a mysterious third man. During Bash at the Beach 1996, Hogan emerged to aid Hall and Nash, shocking the crowd and resulting in a cascade of garbage being thrown into the ring. This event marked Hogan's transformation into a villain and the birth of the New World Order faction, which became a major fixture of WCW and the Monday Night Wars. Number 1. Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant. Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant in front of 93,000 fans is perhaps the moment that kickstarted the idea that WrestleMania was more than just a mega wrestling event. The two most popular wrestlers of the 1980s were the main event at WrestleMania 3 at the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit. After a hard-fought battle, Hulk Hogan began to hulk up and body slam the dazed Giant. Hulk Hogan followed the slam up with a giant leg drop to get the pin and retain his championship. Even after more than 3 decades, it remains one of the most startling moments in WrestleMania history. So, which one was your OMG moment? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any other moments that you remember. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget, if there's any videos you'd like to see me cover, leave them in the comments.